We have an underground base down here. Obviously, this isn't what the build will look like exactly. This is kind of like a cross-section of it, just so that you can see how it works and what we're kind of working with. But we have an underground base that is connected to a tree that is on the actual overworld. The way that you access the underground base is by climbing up the actual tree, which is a little bit hidden all by itself. You might not notice some ladders on the side of a tree, so you walk all the way up to the top of your tree base, and you can see that in the base of the tree we actually have loads of room. We have plenty of room for everything that we might need. It's actually a nice little hideaway for plenty of chests and crafting tables and furnaces and all of that fun stuff. But the perceptive among you may notice that we have this trapdoor in the center of the tree base, and we can climb down here, and that will gain us access to the actual underground portion of this base. And once again, we obviously wouldn't be able to see out of here. Like, in the actual version of this, you wouldn't be able to see, like, the Family Guy house from the underground portion of this base, but you can just hide a nice little underground base under your tree, which is also a base. What more could you possibly want? If you guys enjoyed these sorts of tutorials, please do remember to smack that like button. I'd really appreciate that. If you have any more ideas for any more bases like this, I'd love to hear them. And please do subscribe to the channel if you are interested. And by the way, if you do like the video, legend has it that a giant tree will grow in your back garden, and you may or may not be able to collect coconuts from it. Who wouldn't want that? Anyway, that'll happen if you like the video, probably not. But if you want to make this thing, here's what you're gonna need. You will need some oak wood, some oak leaves, some ladders, some oak wood planks, some spruce wood stairs, some wooden trapdoors, some glowstone, some oak wood fence, a little bit of paintings, and all of the other things that you might want to decorate the inside of your bases with. And also, I would highly recommend Potion of Night Vision, otherwise the underground portion of this is not going to be fun whatsoever. So once you have all of this stuff, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, and the overworld portion of this doesn't take up very much room whatsoever. The base of the tree is simply a 3x3 block area, and the tree can be as high as you like. I'm going to begin with a row of 6 oak wood coming up from the ground, but do make this bigger or smaller depending on your preferences. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this. And then we want to form a square shape. So we'll take the bottom block and we'll go right from it by 2, 1, 2. We'll go up by 2, 1, 2. Left by 2, 1, 2, and then we'll connect things back together. So that's the height of the tree, that is the thickness of the tree. Now what we have to do is we just have to add all of the other oak wood on top of this. But again, you can increase the width of the tree if you like. You cannot shrink it though. I probably wouldn't shrink it. You can't really do that and still get ladders and stuff in place, but you can make it bigger and you can make it taller. Once we have the actual base of the tree, we're now going to take out our oak leaves, and we're going to do a layer of oak leaves going all the way around the top of the tree. It's going to go all the way around the top row of oak wood, going all the way around the tree like this. We're going to do that once, yeah? And then we're going to do it again. We're going to go all the way around once again, and we're going to add another layer of oak wood leaves around the tree. The tree is also itself, you can use different materials for the tree. If you want a jungle tree, use a jungle tree, spruce tree, you guys get the idea. Now we're going to add 2 layers of leaves on top of that outer layer, so that'll look like 1, 2, and then we're just going to add all of the leaves going around on top of this. So if you want to use different materials for the tree, feel free to do that. If you want to make the tree bigger, feel free to do that. Smaller, feel free to do that. Just don't mess with the size of the trunk. Once you've added all of the layers of leaves, you then want to add an additional layer of leaves, 1 row inside and above the previous layer of leaves. So you want to shrink the top of the tree by 1 row coming inwards. So just place a square of leaves inside the tree like that. Then add another layer on top of that. So we want to make this 2 rows high, like this. Then, to put a cap on this, we literally want to put a cap on it. We want to place a layer of leaves that simply sits on top of the tree like this. So we just want to have a pretty standard tree. I mean, you might not notice this as you walk through your Minecraft world. You might think it's a little bit odd because it's a little bit boring, but you know, it's not something that really stands out. To access the tree, we're just simply going to place, where do I want the entrance to kind of be this side. It doesn't really matter though. I want to run a row of ladders coming all the way up the tree, all the way up the very center of one of the sides, can be any side, and I want to break into the base of the tree. So this is going to be the inside space of the tree. I'm going to add a wooden trapdoor to the empty space right at the top of the tree trunk, and I'm also going to add a glowstone right at the very top of the tree as well. So adding glowstone to the very top of the tree, that'll provide light. I'm going to place wooden trapdoors all the way around the glowstone, and that is going to make the glowstone look a little bit fancier. There's a light source, it makes it look a little bit better. I'm also going to, later on, I'll furnish this tree. Actually, I'll do it now. So I'm going to furnish the tree with, like, chests, crafting tables, beacons, that sort of stuff. Like, the top of the tree, I see no reason why the top of the tree can't actually be used for stuff. I don't see why that couldn't be. So at the top of the tree, I'm just going to place normal things like chests and furnaces and that sort of stuff. As I say, there's no real reason why you couldn't have a nice base up at the top of the tree that is actually functional. You could even place a bed here if you wanted to somewhere. I'm not going to, but you could. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. So I'm going to chuck all of this stuff away for a second. And now this part, we're going to need potion of night vision, ladders, oak wood. Okay, this next bit determines where and how big the underground base is going to be. So I'm going to crack open this this wooden trapdoor, I'm going to pop my potion of night vision, and I'm going to come all the way down to the base of the trunk. And I'm going to dig down from the base of the trunk. I would recommend digging down at least 9 blocks, about 9 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that. So you're right at the base. Figure out where you want your ladders to be. I want my ladders to be in this position right here, kind of like how they were at the start of the video. So I want the ladders to be in this position. So I've run them all the way up to the top so I can actually get back up there. I'm going to destroy left and right of me 2 rows. So that's going to be 1 row. Well, I've actually done 2 rows there. So 1 row and 2 row. I've done 2 rows on the left of me and 2 rows on the right of me. I also want to destroy behind the ladder because I want the base to actually sit like that way. And I want to destroy around the ladder, and I actually want to destroy 4 rows going back that way. So that'll be like 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 row. And I want to do the same on the right here. I want to do 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 row, like this. And then I'm going to connect each one of these sides together, like this. Then I'm going to destroy around all of the entire base. So I'm going to destroy all of these blocks except for the ladders. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to replace the blocks that the ladders run down. I'm going to replace these blocks with oak wood. Simply, and this is only because I think it'll look better. It serves no other purpose than that. I simply think it will look better if the ladders are actually running down the oak woods. Kind of looks like roots or something. I quite like it. It's a cool effect. The next thing I'm going to do, now I'm down here, is I'm going to make this space bigger. So, I'm now going to destroy the ceiling a little bit, and I want to make the base 5 blocks high. So we already have 2, so we're going to have something like 1, 2, 3, and we're going to destroy 3 rows everywhere. So we're going to destroy 3 rows everywhere in the ceiling. It's going to make the base a lot bigger. You can make the base bigger, you can make the base smaller, you can do this, you can do that, you can literally do anything that you please. I'm not telling you exactly how big your base should be. It's completely up to you. You'll all have different uses for this. It might just be kind of like something that you have in a creative world just for the fun of it. It might be something that you have in a survival world. Do whatever you like. There we go. That's a nice space to have dug out. Next thing we're going to do here is we're going to grab some oak wood planks, some glowstone, and some oak wood fence. So in the walls, you'll be able to find a center block in each wall. So on the left-hand wall, it will be like this center block, like it will be the center of the entire row of 5 by 5. you'll be able to see it quite easily. I'm going to place a glowstone in that center block and one in the same position on the opposite side. I'm going to dig into the wall and place an oak wood fence above and below each glowstone, like this. I'm also going to put a face on the glowstone in the form of a wooden trapdoor, and this will mean that we don't need potions of night vision anymore, because we'll have a nice bright interior. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this place a lot more homey, and to do that, I'm basically just going to replace the walls and the ceilings with oak wood plank. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use oak wood plank to make all of the walls and the ceiling and stuff just a little bit nicer, a little bit brighter, a little bit cozier. I'm not really looking for like a cave base. I'm looking for something that is a nice underground, hidden, warm, comfy base, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I'm just going to add some oak wood to the walls. And you know what? A little bit of detail that we can add to these walls before I do too much more to this. A little bit of detail that you can add is if you add some upside down spruce wood stairs to the base of the walls. So like have a row of upside down spruce wood stairs to the base of the walls, like right at the bottom of the wall. I mean, it's kind of hard to add. I've actually just failed at it twice there. But if you add some upside down spruce wood stairs to the base of the walls like this, and some regular facing to the top of the walls, then you'll get kind of like a cool effect like this. You could even, this is just an idea, you could even use spruce wood fence instead of oak wood fence around the light source, and then that would kind of tie in a little bit better. These are just little additions that you can add to add in a little bit more detail. It really depends on what sort of resources you have available. This is quite a friendly survival house. It's not really that difficult to build. The only difficult thing might be lighting this place up, but I'm sure that you guys will manage that. And on this back wall, we're going to do the same thing on this back wall, except for the fact that on the back wall, we're just going to have a beacon lighting up this wall instead of like glowstone and stuff. So that's actually going to pop out of the wall itself. I don't think I'm going to build it into the wall, although I might. I'll see how things look. So I'm just going to complete this. That's how that back wall will look. I'm keeping the corner blocks, by the way, and I'm also going to do the same thing here, just at the front where the actual entrance to this base is as well. I'm going to place all of the upside down spruce wood stairs like this, and then all of the ones at the top. I think I've actually just destroyed a ladder because I'm a bit silly, and we'll be able to replace that anyway. That's no problem. And of course we just want to oak wood plank this wall right here, and yeah, I mean, whoops. And there's not that much more to it. I've just placed that stair in a weird way. Can you see how it's connecting? That's actually driving me crazy, and I need that to stop. I don't know what's wrong with me, but that has to... Oh no. Oh, there we go, that's so much better. Plus, I'm also going to replace the floor. If you like, you can use a wool, or I might use red wool on the floor. Instead of oak wood, I might use a little bit of red wool, just to make this place look a little bit cozier, a little bit nicer, if you will. You don't have to add any of these things. You could simply keep plain walls. I kind of like that. That looks nice. And the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to furnish this place. So I'll use my chest, my crafting tables, my beds, my beacons, all that fun stuff, even a little bit of paintings to make this place a little better. So right at the base wall, the back wall here, I'm going to have like crafting tables and furnaces galore on the floor. I'm going to have, what shall I have here? So I want a beacon in the center of the wall. So I might have like a couple of oak wood fence connecting the beacon in this sort of way. I might have it connect like that, and I might have a couple of paintings side by side. Like I'd like some paintings like this. Yeah, that looks quite nice. I kind of like that. I'm going to have a couple of double chests above the furnace and crafting tables like this. You could even have another set of chests just up here as well if you liked. And I'm going to have a couple of beds built into the floor, maybe in this position. Oh, I just I just deleted something, and can I place it there? No, I need another block to place under it, just so that it'll actually place. There we go. And I'll have a bed here, and I'll have another one on the other side. So there's plenty of room for actually 2 people down here, and it's pretty nice looking base, if I do say so myself. And that's pretty much everything, guys. It's kind of difficult to show you everything. Even, you know what, I've just realized I've not replaced the ceiling. I kind of like the ceiling not being replaced, but we'll take a look at what it actually looked like if we did put a different material on the ceiling. Shall we put oak wood planks or spruce wood planks? We'll put oak wood just because it contrasts from the spruce wood. Yeah, that's probably a better decision. Yeah, we'll just place some oak wood planks here, just up at the top of the ceiling. We'll see how it looks. You don't have to do any of this, and we can just have this as kind of like supportive, if that makes sense. So you can see how there's like all of the stone and stuff surrounding it. It doesn't have to be like a solid. It doesn't have to be like a solid ceiling by any means. It can just be like a nice oak wood. And if you wanted to make it look as though it was like a supportive ceiling, or if, you know, it was like stopping like a cave-in or something, you could absolutely add some like, I don't know, some oak wood. That kind of looks weird. You could add some like beams and stuff to the top of this. So, just to give you a for instance, you could use like some spruce wood slabs here, and you could like run a beam of slab that kind of like connected from one side to the other, just to make it look as though that it's like a supportive sort of ceiling. You don't have to do that though, it's very, very minor. And that's pretty much everything, guys. This is the underground base. It looks quite nice, and it is connected to your lovely tree base, which is all the way up at the top here, isn't it? So we'll come all the way up to the top here. This is the lovely tree base. Looks fantastic, and that's how everything functions. All you have to do is climb all the way up to the top of the tree, drop down, and you'll be able to enter your secret hidden base right at the base of the tree. And that's pretty much everything. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do remember to smack that like button. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe, please also click the little bell next to the subscription button. Suggest some more stuff that you'd like to see in the future. I do have a couple more hidden base related tutorials and some more cartoon builds and some more regular houses coming up, so stay tuned for all of those. And I even have some more survival related builds coming up in the future as well. That's pretty much everything. If you want to check out my other stuff, check out the card system in the description below, and I guess that's everything. If you want a palm tree to grow in your back garden, please do like the video. I mean, who doesn't like coconuts except people that are allergic to them? You probably don't like them. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.